CBS 8's Jenny Day, welcome to Around San Diego. I'll get you caught up on a week's worth of news and look ahead in just 30 minutes. To start, county supervisors are continuing to demand that Nathan Fletcher resign from his seat immediately. The board unanimously passed a resolution this week calling on him to resign before his planned date of May 15th. The vote comes about 2 weeks after Fletcher admitted to an affair with an MTS employee. That woman is suing him, claiming sexual assault and harassment. Fletcher denies those allegations. The board heard from more than 30 people during that special meeting.
There's nobody here from District 4 because he chooses himself over everyone out here.
His resignation should be immediate. He should have no more input on this board. The taxpayer shouldn't pay another nickel.
Yeah, and despite the vote, the board does not have the power to remove Fletcher from his position. Following Tuesday's vote, though, of no confidence in Supervisor Nathan Fletcher, Board Chair Nora Vargas made it clear that the focus is on the future of the county. Board Vice Chair Tara Lawson-Remer said that progress will continue on a number of fronts, from housing and homelessness to climate change to the county's investment in behavioral health. Now, she also pointed to the critical importance of finding the best representative for District 4, the most diverse in the county.
We know that there's going to be an amazing community leader that's going to fill that seat. We don't know who that is, but we know it'll be someone who is going to pick up the torch and is going to accelerate the transformation of San Diego.
Thank you. With that,
the board will be meeting on May 2nd to determine how that new supervisor will be chosen. It could be by appointment if the board can come to a consensus, or possibly through a special election. That would cost upwards of $4 million. And the Del Mar Union School District held a special meeting to fill a vacant board member position this week. The seat has been open since a former board member was arrested in a prostitution sting and resigned. The district has now appointed someone else for the job. We do have more information on CBS8.com. Some families, though, are already talking about pushing for a recall. If that does happen, 500 signatures would be required. Not to mention, it would also require taxpayer dollars to have one. And California Senator Dianne Feinstein is facing pressure from her own party to resign amid her absence from the Senate. The 89-year-old has already announced that she won't run for re-election next year. But this week, several House Democrats called on her to step down as she recovers from shingles. Feinstein was hospitalized in late February. She was released then on March 7th and is still receiving treatment now at home. Feinstein's last Senate vote was on February 16th. She's missed nearly 60 votes since. In a statement, Feinstein said that complications related to her diagnosis have delayed her return to Washington, but she adds that she does plan to do so, and quote, as soon as possible once my medical team advises that it's safe for me to travel. In the meantime, I remain committed to the job and will continue to work from home in San Francisco. Feinstein went on to say that she's asked Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer to let another Democratic senator temporarily serve in her role on the Judiciary Committee until she is able to resume her work. Right now, though, there is no timeline as to when that might be. Well, a Bonita plastic surgeon is pleading not guilty to murdering a patient during surgery. Dr. Carlos Chacon is accused of second-degree murder. That is a recently amended charge. He was initially facing manslaughter charges. Prosecutors say in 2018, his patient, Megan Espinoza, went into cardiac arrest during breast implant surgery. Court documents say the doctor did CPR for 2 hours while nurses gave Espinoza Narcan. Documents say 3 hours later, he called 911. Bail was set at $500,000. Well, Customs and Border Protection is looking into claims that border agents purposely destroyed aid packages left for migrants in the Otay Mountain wilderness. Volunteers regularly drop off supplies like water and canned goods in random locations. It's meant to help migrants survive dangerous conditions while crossing.
There were 5 agents with guns trying to intimidate us into backing down or stopping asking them and trying to pinpoint why did they do those, why did they do this, and why did they destroy this aid.
Yes, CBP's Office of Professional Responsibility has started an investigation. Meantime, U.S. Border Patrol agents say they detained this group of migrants in San Ysidro Thursday morning. We're told the group consisted of adults to very small children. Some of them came from as far away as Ethiopia and Pakistan. Agents say the group climbed a fence on the southern side of the Tijuana River, then crossed that river, entering the United States illegally. That's where agents stopped them. They were transported to detainment centers, but agents say they are running out of room. Thousands have been gathering on the Mexico side of the border for months now. Well, there are advisories for some of Mexico's most popular spots. In this Verify report, CBS 8's Shannon Handy looks at the places that are safest to visit, as well as the ones that are the most dangerous.
Mexico is among the top destinations for spring break and summer travel, but recent headlines about crime there involving American tourists have some people worried about their safety. So let's verify. Is it safe to travel to Mexico? The answer needs some context. Our sources, the U.S. Department of State, the U.S. Embassy in Mexico, and the Overseas Security Advisory Council. The U.S. Department of State issues travel advisories for every country in the world, alerting American citizens traveling abroad of safety risks in those places. It handles Mexico a bit differently, issuing advisories for individual states and Mexico City instead of an advisory for the whole country. These travel advisories range from level 1 to level 4, with level 1 being the least severe and level 4 being the most severe. You can exercise normal precautions in level 1 places. You should exercise increased caution in level 2 places. You should reconsider travel to level 3 places, and you should not travel to level 4 places. The State Department says crime, terrorist activity, civil unrest, health, natural disaster, weather, and current events all factor into how it determines the level of travel advisory issued. Here's a color-coded map showing where certain areas fall. There are 32 states, including Mexico City's capital district. Level 1 is in gray, level 2 is in yellow, level 3 is in orange, level 4 is in red. Only 2 have a level 1 advisory from the U.S. State Department, Campeche and Yucatan. More than a dozen states have a level 2 advisory. Tourist areas within the level 2 states include Cancun, Cozumel, Tulum, Playa del Carmen, Los Cabos, and Nuevo Vallarta. There are 7 states with a level 3 advisory. Popular places in those areas include Guadalajara metropolitan area and Puerto Vallarta. The remaining 6 states have a level 4 advisory, including Tamaulipas, where 4 Americans were recently kidnapped, 2 of whom were killed. So we can verify, yes, it's safe to travel to Mexico, depending on where you go. With this Verify report, I'm Shannon Handy.
Yeah, we love Mexico. Shannon, thank you. Well, should homeless encampments be banned on public property? San Diego's Land Use and Housing Committee just took up this controversial proposal, and it will now move to the City Council for a vote. Supporters of this proposed move to ban encampments on public property call it a health and safety issue, while critics counter that it essentially criminalizes being homeless. The overall ban would only be enforced if there are shelter beds available. However, regardless of the availability of shelter beds, encampments would be banned within 2 blocks of libraries, shelters, transportation hubs, and schools, as well as in parks.
The ordinance basically just criminalizes homelessness, and that's all it does. It doesn't solve a problem, it hides people, and it punishes people.
It becomes a place that you don't want to be when it feels like unsafe and unwelcoming to walk in.
Yeah, for more information, go to CBS8.com and click on the online version of this story. Well, big changes could be coming to your SDG&E bill. CBS 8's Shannon Handy is working for you on this story. She spent the day digging for answers from SDG&E and breaks down how much less or more you would pay.
This change wouldn't go into effect for at least another year or more. Essentially, people would be billed based on their income. So while a lot of customers will wind up saving money, others could pay more.
The state legislature passed a law last year that requires a real fundamental change in how electricity is priced in the state of California.
That law, says Scott Greider, SDG&E's Vice President of External Affairs and Operations Support, requires California utility companies come up with a fixed rate plan as a way to help stabilize rates and make billing more equitable. Greider sat down with me to talk about SDG&E's joint proposal with PG&E and SoCal Edison, saying it differs greatly from how customers are billed now. Currently, you not only pay for how much electricity your household uses, but other things such as how that electricity is delivered. Both prices vary month to month. SDG&E's plan is to offer residential customers a fixed delivery rate every month, no matter how much electricity is used.
By having a fixed price for the delivery portion of it, we can actually reduce the remaining electricity rate by about 42%.
So what could that look like under the current billing system at 47 cents per kilowatt hour? The average customer pays $188 per month. Under the fixed rate proposal, they pay $181. Here's a breakdown of where you'd fall based on your income. Households making less than $28,000 a year would pay a fixed delivery rate of $24 per month. Under $69,000, that fixed price goes up to $34. Between $69,000 and $180,000, $73. Households making over $180,000 will pay $128 a month. Everyone's average kilowatt hour rate drops from 47 cents to 27 cents.
This proposal is income-based, but some people feel uncomfortable about giving away their financial information. What's your response to that?
We would agree. We don't want customers' financial information. Our perspective is the state it will be very capable to be able to do this and really be able to send us the data that's needed.
Kreider tells me SDG&E would not make more profit under this plan, but I wanted to know, with so many customers potentially saving money, how would SDG&E maintain its record numbers?
To make SDG&E's profits stay consistent, if you have higher income customers pay more, it makes up for the savings from the lower and middle income customers.
Yeah, that's correct.
Another thing to consider, this would impact every residential customer, including those with solar.
So even solar customers now who don't pay any delivery charge, they will be included in this proposal.
That's correct.
Fixed rates are already the norm for water and sewage. As for electricity, Kreider says these changes are the result of California's climate goals, saying with more and more people transitioning to cleaner energy, such as electric vehicles, we have to find a way to make it affordable.
We've heard loud and clear from our customers that they're struggling and they need action taken.
He admits while this proposal could offer short-term relief, what happens in the long run is unclear.
It's hard to speculate where rates will go. We know that more infrastructure is going to be needed. This is not going to be an issue that's completely addressed with one proposal.
The California Public Utilities Commission has until July 1st of next year to adopt a proposal and decide when it takes effect. This will impact Community Choice Energy customers as well. Working for you, I'm Shanna Handy for CBS 8.
Fighting for crazy power is on the rise.
Well, hundreds of UC workers, including service and patient care workers and students, converged in front of Jacobs Medical Center at the UC San Diego campus. They came together to fight for better pay. Workers are calling on officials to raise the minimum wage to $25 per hour for all.
We're all struggling out here it's very expensive in San Diego, so right now what we're trying to do is fight for our rights to get more money and get higher pay here at UC.
Yeah, they are also demanding the UC system to invest in the development of more affordable housing for staff and students. And Palomar Health is offering a big incentive to attract future registered nurses and keep current ones. It's offering payments up to $100,000 that would be awarded over a 3-year commitment period. It's an effort to combat nursing shortages. Current employees have until April 21st to enroll in the program. New hires have the option through July 17th. And several local school districts have filed a lawsuit against multiple social media companies, claiming the sites have led to a mental health crisis among youth. Oceanside, Ramona, National City, and Coronado school districts are all now part of a suit against Meta, TikTok, Snapchat, YouTube, and other social media companies. The lawsuit accuses the companies of purposely creating manipulative algorithms that cause addiction. Well, the city of Encinitas, the council there just adopted a citywide ban on smoking in public places. The ban passed unanimously this week. Smoking was already banned in many outdoor areas of the city, including beaches, trails, city parks, and outdoor dining areas. Now smoking cigarettes, vapes, and marijuana will be banned in parked cars, public places of employment, and public sidewalks. Under the new ban, people can still light cigarettes inside of a car that's being driven on a public or private street. smoking on private property will still be allowed. The city of Encinitas says that the smoking ban ordinance will take effect this July. Well, digging up a cemetery all to build a hotel at the Jamul Casino. Right now, descendants of Native American people buried there are suing the Catholic Bishop of San Diego to stop that work. CBS 8's Anna Laurel spoke with the diocese, who says that's not their land anymore.
I'm just across the road from the cemetery that's right beside the Jamul Casino. The San Diego Diocese says it gave the cemetery to the tribe out here years ago. But a new lawsuit says the church still owns it and is responsible for what's happening out here.
The contractor is currently boring 120 soil nails. Those are horizontal nails that go 35 feet west into an area that will, for certain, encroach on funerary objects and may encroach on people who are buried there.
In this environmental impact report for the project, you can see just how close the cemetery is to the casino's proposed parking structure.
Since the construction started here many years ago, the cemetery has not been well protected, nor have the rights of the descendants of people that have been buried there been well protected.
Glenn Revelle is the president of the Jamul Action Committee. I spoke with him today about this new lawsuit filed by several descendants of Native Americans buried in the cemetery. It claims the San Diego Diocese wrongly gave away the property and that it is responsible for the destruction of their ancestors' remains.
It's under the control of the tribe.
Today I asked Kevin Eckery with the San Diego Diocese about the cemetery. He says the church gave it to the Jamul Indian Village in 2017.
Whatever project you're talking about is something, one, we know nothing about, two, have no involvement in, and three, we did the right thing in turning over what's essentially a Native American burial area to the Native American tribe that was already taking care of the property.
The lawsuit claims the church gave the land away to get rid of properties and assets to avoid payouts to sex abuse victims, a claim Eckery denies.
It suggests that it was fraudulently transferred when in reality it was always their property.
I reached out to the tribe about their project and they did not get back to me. Glenn hopes a judge steps in to stop the work happening now.
It's the JIV who, amongst any of us in San Diego County, who might be sympathetic to the sacredness of this burial ground, you would expect it to be other Native Americans. And yet that doesn't seem to matter.
Working for you in Jamul, this is Anna Laurel for CBS 8.
Certainly keep you posted, Anna, thanks. Well, apparently fast food isn't the best option when it comes to saving money. The next order you place may cost you more than you're used to. CBS 8's Ariana Cohen is working for you as well. She went to different fast food places in San Diego to find out just how quickly prices add up.
Not too long ago, I spent nearly $30 at McDonald's. Now, what I'm about to do is not scientific. Come with me as I check out fast food prices around town. First, I went to one of America's favorites, the Golden Arches. I just got 3 hash browns and an Egg McMuffin for $24. I want to compare breakfast prices, so let's head over to Wendy's.
Oh, what can I get for you?
Hi, can I get the home-style French toast sticks? At Wendy's, I got a much better deal. I got 4 French toast sticks and a breakfast croissant deal for just $6.45. I checked fastfoodmenuprices.com. Their site tells me one of the more costly items at Wendy's is the Dave's Hot and Juicy Triple with Cheese combo for $8.09. Time to grab a drink. At Starbucks, one of the most expensive items is the Grande Evolution Fresh for $5.95, or a limited-time toasted graham latte for $5.25. One of the cheapest things you can get is freshly brewed coffee for $1.85. Now, let's check out what lunch will cost me. I went to a different McDonald's for lunch in Pacific Beach, and I got a Filet-O-Fish sandwich, a 10-piece chicken McNugget, and 1 small fry for $14.84. My Filet-O-Fish was $4.99. This picture shows in 2001, a Filet-O-Fish was only $2. Today, Burger King's Impossible Whopper is $7.29, and the spicy chicken sandwich meal is $9.19. And finally, me a chicken burrito at Chipotle costs me a little over $10. A smart way to get better deals is to download the fast food chain's mobile app or see if any deals are on your receipt.
That was our Ariana Cohen there reporting. Well, April is Volunteer Appreciation Month, and Rady Children's Hospital wants to thank a veteran who has given 15,000 hours of his time to help sick children. As we take you in the Zevely Zone, Jeff meets Grandpa Don.
From the outside, the Bernardi Center here at Rady Children's Hospital can appear cold and clinical, but don't let that fool you. There's a man inside who warms this place right up.
Wrap your arms around the world.
Out on the dance floor at 92 years old is a man by the name of Don Bellows, who visited a child at this hospital decades ago.
Everyone was so kind to the kids.
Some people are born to serve. Don, an Air Force veteran, decided to start volunteering here in 1993.
If anyone wants to have fulfillment in life, joy in life, try volunteering.
Don became attached to the patients at the Bernardi Center, a convalescent hospital for medically fragile children.
Sometimes our kids come here like as babies and they'll stay here till they're about 21.
Volunteer coordinator Janelle Nettles says,
We love this guy.
Where would they be without
Grandpa Don.
Grandpa Don?
He's Grandpa Don. He's Grandpa Don to everybody here, staff and kids.
For the past 30 years, Grandpa Don kept showing up.
Don is incredible.
Bo Barnum, a recreational therapist, has seen his acts of kindness by the thousands.
Reading stories, pushing him in their wheelchairs around the campus.
Add it all up, it's been 15,000 hours of volunteering.
He's amazing. I mean, 30 years. It's incredible.
Nancy Emery knows exactly why Don keeps coming back.
Because they deserve just as much as anybody else. I don't know why I'm so emotional, but they're great kids. And I love working with them.
He's an angel.
Carl Anthony, a healing arts musician, bestowed a second nickname upon Grandpa Don.
He's the angel man.
They're calling you an angel.
An angel?
What do you think about that?
I guess an angel is a good name. I'll accept that.
Which made the final song of the day make us all feel as if heaven could actually be a small hospital room in San Diego.
I see an angel in your eyes.
In the Zevely Zone, Jeff Zevely, CBS 8.
Goosebumps. We just need more stories like that. So Jeff, thank you. And Grandpa Don, thank you as well. So along with reading and dancing with the children, he also takes them to Padres games. Good stuff. Well, we do have one more Zevely Zone for you. This time, Jeff asks for your help in Chula Vista. That's because when a person uses a wheelchair, a mobility van is their lifeline to transportation.
Some stories just make your blood boil. Tom Lukaszewicz has been through way too much as a human being to be the victim of a theft.
As you can see, my muscles, my arms, just bones, there's no more muscles.
A few weeks ago, we introduced you to Tom, a father and husband battling a rare muscle disease.
All of a sudden, I just started feeling weaker. You know, it just started falling out of the blue. Just my leg would give out and like, what's going on?
After Tom's home caught on fire, the community rallied and helped him out with a free remodel.
Happy birthday to you.
Just when Tom was flying high, thieves in the middle of the night targeted his mobility van.
Someone took my catalytic converter, stole it, cut it off, and that was it. That was the end. Like, what do I do now? Can't drive it? Can't go nowhere? Can't be driving down the street like that.
Not only is it noisy, but I'm smelling a lot of exhaust. Without the van, Tom's missed 4 medical appointments and couldn't attend his mother's Easter brunch. Tom was too proud to contact us after his home remodel. It was his mother who reached out and just told us that he needs some help. Because of partial paralysis, Tom can't work, and a mountain of medical bills prevented him from having comprehensive insurance. Tom is well aware that catalytic converters are stolen, but he can't park his mobility van in his garage. Because of the remodel and construction vehicles in his driveway, Tom had to park the mobility van right here on the street. Tom's friends have set up a GoFundMe page, hoping to raise $3,500. But by some estimates, because this is a mobility van, it may cost $6,000 to fix. If extra donations come in, Tom wants to install a security camera and light on the corner of his house. And if he does get another catalytic converter, he says he will get it stamped with his VIN number. And to the crooks, Tom has this to say.
It's bad enough I have this muscle disease, but you took my ability to get to places that I need to go, and it just hurts. It just frustrates me, and to know that someone would take someone that is in medical need of stuff and needs a van like this to get anywhere, and you took it from me. So I'm really not happy.
Come on, San Diego.
Just too much to handle, you know?
Let's make this better. In the Zevely Zone, Jeff Zevely, CBS 8.
Yeah, come on, San Diego. So if you would like to help Tom, we have a link to the GoFundMe page. Just click on the help button on CBS8.com. Well, more sad news now. Legendary high school football coach Urb Meyer has passed away. He spent 45 seasons as head coach between Oceanside and El Camino. He also became the first high school coach in California to reach 300 wins. Meyer ended his career with 339 and 10 San Diego section championships. At the time of his retirement, he was California's all-time winningest football coach. Meyer was 87 years young. Well, you very likely have seen the blooming wildflowers springing up all across our roads and freeways. It's a sign that spring is here. We sent our Brian White out to capture some of the natural beauty that San Diego has to offer.
Yeah, I drove around to different parts of the county to get pictures of all these amazing blooming wildflowers we're seeing. Right now I'm in Santee, but I went to the Tijuana River Valley, Lake Murray, and Alpine. And if you look closely, some of these orange and yellow wildflowers, you see many of them are daisies.
Oh, on the 8th, they're amazing. The wildflower bloom out here right now is just insane with all the rain that we've had this year. We're seeing flowers that we haven't seen in years just all of a sudden pop up. So it's kind of that rebirth of the spring, and then all the rainfall. Mother Nature just kind of has its way of painting a beautiful picture out here. The side of the 8 becomes a little precarious there with people stopping to get out and take pictures, but there's many areas where it's nice to just, you know, kind of take a mental picture and look at those as you're driving by.
Oh, it's beautiful. I'm in awe. So much color. The vibrant oranges and yellows, and it's just like they're smiling at you.
All of this rain has really given us a rare opportunity, and that is to bring up a lot of our regional plant diversity. So we have a lot of plants showing their face, so to speak, here in San Diego County that we haven't seen in many years, and they are absolutely beautiful. That this is the year to get out there and the opportunity to actually see them up close and kind of start to enjoy and admire the beauty in our own backyards.
The flowers are just beautiful. It's so nice to see all the different colors, and we were just talking about how flowers just make you feel so happy.
I think it's the colors, the variety, how wonderfully they smell. They just lift your spirits.
I am enjoying it so much right now too, just beautiful. And you see here, crowds of people are also flocking to the Antelope Valley Poppy Preserve in Lancaster. The countryside is full of flowers in bloom. This is about an hour north of Los Angeles. Experts say that the last super bloom there was in 2019, but this year's, get this, could be so big it may even be visible from space. Wow. And California's long, rainy winter has had a big impact on commercial beekeepers as well. Many beekeepers send their bees to California early in the year to support the state's almond crops. But this weather means that bees are taking longer than usual to emerge from their hives. That could result in a lower yield for a state that produces 80% of the world's almonds. But this rain is again bringing a burst of spring wildflowers, which could translate into a sweet year for honey production. And yes, for a third year in a row, the San Diego Botanic Garden welcomed spring with the vibrant colors and diverse beauty of orchids. But before the showcase wrapped up, our chief meteorologist, Carlene Chavis, went to Encinitas to see, smell, and learn a few facts about the world of orchids.
The San Diego Botanic Garden is a great place to see the beauty of nature on display, but there's one flower that's still in the spotlight.
We like to do an orchid show every year, in part because orchids are so beautiful. No plant, I think, captures the human sort of imagination and sense of beauty as well as orchids.
And talk about beauty. The San Diego Botanic Garden showcase a weekly rotation with 200 orchids on display at any given moment. People took in the vibrant colors of these flowers and snapped away with their cameras, admiring the locally bred hybrids and rare species plants in the Dickinson Family Education Observatory.
So if you see only a really hard to pronounce Greeky Latin name, that's what we call a species orchid. That's exactly as it would be in nature. Oh, okay. But if it has like English names on it, and this one is Firestorm Blaze, that means that a human being bred it. Okay. And that means that they are breeding it now for beauty rather than for its ecological place.
These flowery beauties aren't your grocery store and garden center orchids. Here's the difference. Those are tropical empathetic orchids, meaning a plant that grows on another plant. Their roots don't go into the soil, and they are packed loosely in a dry, airy plant mix, sometimes mixed with moss, like they're still in the rainforest.
Some of them will last weeks and weeks before they finish blooming, which is kind of amazing when you think about it. And then that flowering stalk will die back, and you'll kind of be left with those strap-like leathery leaves. If you kind of put them in a cool spot and just ignore them for a while, make sure they don't completely dry out, and hold on to them long enough, they will often rebloom for you.
And speaking of the grocery store, did you know that you can find orchids right there in the baking aisle?
If you go to the store and buy real vanilla bean, which are brown and dried, that is this after it has matured. It's a physical process that allows the vanilla bean to mature into the vanilla spice that we buy in the store.
You heard Ari correctly. Vanilla spice really comes from an orchid pod. It's just called a bean because it, well, looks like a string bean.
When you're eating cookies and cakes and everything that's delicious with vanilla, you're eating orchid deliciousness.
So while I try not to think about vanilla cupcakes, here's some food for thought. We are not the only ones that feed off of orchids. The different colors and structures of these unique flowers serve as food for a variety of insects that feed off their nectar and pollinate different orchids. Moths with long tongues, like these particular beauties.
And so that specific species of moth with the tongue of the right size, it can get in there, it unfurls its long tongue to get the nectar, and then the orchid slaps it with pollen on its head, and then that way the pollen moves from this one plant specifically to the next orchid of the same species.
In fact, the vast diversity of insects correlates with the vast diversity of orchids that we see. And to see these beauties thrive is a good sign when it comes to our planet's ecosystem.
If we begin to lose orchids out in the ecosystem, that's a real indicator that that ecosystem is going out of whack. And for that reason, in fact, orchids are among the more endangered plants in the world as well.
And that wouldn't be good for insects or us. For CBS 8, I'm Chief Meteorologist Carlene Chavis.
Yeah, vanilla from orchids. That was truly fascinating and just beautiful. Carlene, thanks. As always, thank you for your time. Thank you for staying informed. Join me each week as I take you around San Diego. For CBS 8, I'm Jenny Day. Take such good care.